spring split for the VCS, there was one team that received a lot of hype, and that was Team Flash. They, on paper, should have been the second best team in the VCS. We got Yoshino off the bench from Garm, replacing Stark. The rest was the same. Optimus did retire, but we got a new player in Kati who no one knew anything about. So if he worked, and so far he individually has worked, they should be a really good team. However, they've been quite disappointing, and a lot of that is because of the draft. And going through it, you can see that the players that worked in 2019 are not necessarily working in 2020. Because, and I think the biggest culprit is this man here, Slater. Now, we're only a week in, so this could change, and they could live up to expectations. But in the first week, Slater has played two champions, Zaya and Kai'Sa. Now, those two champions he's played a lot over the past year, but they're not meta anymore. They're not good anymore. Zaya's okay, but Kai'Sa's just not good anymore. At all. I believe the champion... Oh no, I just won the champion. Thank you. Stats is probably a very low win rate. So overall, 33% win rate over 12 games. And this is including Casper Cup and the Spring Promotion Tournament. And that was still on the old was still on the 2019 patches. I'm pretty sure. So, that is completely irrelevant. Yeah, it was in September. So, without those games, of which count for 7 of them, and was probably the APK games, well, it was probably the most of the Korean games. It was... Let's see. So we'll only take from LPL, and what we know was Casper. iBoy loss. No. Yeah, iBoy loss. LWX loss. So 0% win rate across there. In Casper, got a win from Teddy. Okay, got a win from Aiming, and possibly a win from Singing. Okay, so 5 games. It's alright. Never mind that. Still not good. But it's such a low pick rate champion. And you have people like iBoy losing on it. And now that's not like that one pick lost them the game, probably. But it definitely didn't help them win it. Cardi, he's only played 2 champions, but Rise is just a good champion to play, and if he can get his hands on it, yeah, sure. The other one he's played Rise in 4 games, he's played Aurelia in 1, and that draft was special. Same with Eugen. He's played the most different champions. He's played J4, he's played Sejuani, he's played Lee Sin, he's played Nidalee, and he's played Olaf. Not bad. So most of those are fine. Nidalee is always going to be a special in the VCS. Sejuani's stupid. Again, that draft was ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. And Yoshino. Yoshino. Play something meta. The closest he's gotten so far is the Renekton. Now, he's won both his games on Jace, so I can't fault him entirely, but I don't think it was a good thing. And both those times I would be ready to suspect that a lot of that came from this fella, Blitzcrank, by CBL. CBL, so far has been the player I'm most impressed with, other than Cardi. And his ability to play Blitzcrank is a big reason of that. It has shut down so much. But back to Slater. Judging from the heavy presence MF has had in their bans, especially against EVOS, and the fact it's just been left open. Same with Aphelios. And Senna has also been heavily banned. These champions being either banned or left open indicate he can't play them. He can't play what's meta. That's really bad. That means you're essentially playing without an AD carry. And he is still... And he's defaulting back to not even tier 2 AD carries in Xayah and Kaza. These are like tier 3, tier 4. Many better AD carries exist. You've got Varus, you've got Ashe, you've got Tristana, you've got Caitlyn, you've got most others. Lucian has been basically perma-banned in their games, so I'm gonna say he can play that one, but a lot of the time they're banning it as well. They are choosing to... I mean, okay, Leon, Lucian's just right side ban, never mind. For the most part. So it's a red side ban. So he's not getting his hands on that. So is Lucian the only meta AD carry he can play? That's concerning. We've seen no Braum pick. We've seen lots of Leona. We've seen Nort. Actually, we haven't seen that much Leona. We've mostly seen Blitzcrank. And this Blitzcrank has been a great pick. It's been a counter pick into Tahm Kench, and which is perfect. It's exactly what you want, especially because Tahm Kench is usually paired with the immobile AD carries, and if you drag him away with Blitz Hook, Tahm Kench can't do anything unless he maybe flashes forward to eat that target. So I like that. I like one single aspect of Flash's drafts across 5 games, and that is CBL on Blitzcrank. Yujin, I'm concerned about. So let's talk about their first game. Their first game against EVOS. The final lineup, in pick order: Leona, Kai'Sa, Renekton, Irelia, Sejuani. It'll end up being Renekton top, Irelia mid lane. The rest you can figure out. Leona, first pick. Fine. That's fine. It's a strong support. It's probably one of the strongest supports. Absolutely fine. That gets countered by MF and Braum. Yeah. Okay. That's going to happen. It's a really strong bot lane. EVOS, you've got good things going for you. How does Flash respond to that? Kai'Sa Renekton. First of all, we know Kai'Sa's bad. We know that. That we're going to ignore that. Except for the fact Aphelios is open. Ashe is open. Hell, even Xayah is open. Kai'Sa is not the good pick here. However, the Kai'Sa pick makes sense in the sense that after the next wave of bans, you see Irelia, and that means you have an AP damage threat. But at that point, pick Syndra. Pick a mage. Pick, I don't know, Rumble instead of Renekton. Pick... Was Ryze banned? Ryze wasn't banned. Pick Ryze. That's a flex. This part of the draft just ruins them entirely. Like, it completely destroys the composition. It sets up a ridiculous composition where you have to either you have to carry through mid and top, but you've got Leona and Kai'Sa, and these two just don't seem to synergize very well. Because Leona's about early game, Kai'Sa is basically useless in the early game, especially into MF Braum, which you know you're up against. This is terrible. The J4 pick from EVOS, that's fine. So we know Rek'Sai, Gragas, and J4 are off the table. What happens in bans? EVOS, obviously, targets the jungle. Taliyah, Lee, gone. That's fine. We get that. That's fine. There's still options, isn't there? There's still options. Then they pick Ryze. Okay. Ryze is gone. So, they go for the double flex with Irelia Renekton. You've got a Kai'Sa. Stupid, but you've got a Kai'Sa. You know one of those lanes is going to be Ryze. And you probably don't want to send Renekton into Ryze. But then I still think you pick something that can side lane into it. Pick a LeBlanc. Pick a... I don't know. Anything other than Irelia. Because then with Irelia, you now 100% rely on your Kai'Sa for AP damage. Or your jungler, which should not be a Sejuani. Should not be a Sejuani. If you're worried, you can pick Ornn. Ornn can go mid. But yeah, Sejuani. Why would you pick Sejuani? You know you're against J4. So you know, okay, it's a relatively early game jungler. We have 280 solo laners. We probably want a stronger top side. What's open? We probably want AP top side. What's open? Elise. Straight off the bat, Elise. Nidalee. I'm not a huge fan of Nidalee, but I know that a lot of the Vietnamese junglers are good at Nidalee. But no, it's Sejuani. And with the double melee, you see the synergy. But Sejuani is just a weak pick. Right now, it's not being played anywhere. I hate you, Flash. I hate you so much for this draft. This draft is physically painful to look at. Thankfully, after that, they know, let's not go Sejuani and Kai'Sa. Oh wait, they go Kai'Sa again, never mind. They know not to go Sejuani. Game 2, much better. They still early pick the Xayah. Again. So they've banned MF round 1. They've left Akali open. So, obviously, EVOS picks Akali. That's not great, but apparently they're 2-0 against Akali, so clearly Akali's not so much... Clearly Akali's not the problem. But then they pick Xayah. They pick Ryze and Xayah. But you don't need to leave MF open. Leave MF... Put MF on the ban list. You could pick it, right? Unless you can't play it, but it's MF. MF is really easy to play. especially, you would think, for a professional. But no, Xayah. It's just Xayah. Then Varus Tom is the lock in. That's wrong, probably, because Aphelios, again, Aphelios is good. Learn Aphelios. He's not hard. Please, AD carries. He's not that hard. If you play him, for like 10 minutes, he's really intuitive. I can only assume it's just been permabanned, so they never get a chance and don't feel comfortable. But can't you in scrims be like, hey, we need to practice Aphelios. You play a game, we'll play a game. You play a game, we'll play a game. Just discuss it. Varus Tom. See, that's a tier 2 AD carry you pick. That's a tier 2 AD carry you pick. It's a Tahm Kench. No, Tahm Kench isn't the AD carry. A Varus. You pick the Varus. You pick the support to go with it. J4. Finally, a good jungler. Can't argue with that jungler. Move across. We see Ori. Then we go to the next bands. We see support bands. What's good into this? Oh, Rakan, Leona. That's what tagged me. This is the beauty. They pick the Blitz. Yay! It's a good draft move. It's almost like Blitz isn't hard to play. And here I can kind of understand Xayah with the Blitz combo. Because Xayah can generally fend for herself as Blitz goes around and does Blitz things. It's the same as with Xayah and Rakan, just not as good. And I think had Rakan been open, maybe they would have picked it. But it was bad. So we see Blitz, and that's fine. Blitz is stronger into Tahm. Orianna, fine. Kindred, Jace. Orianna, Kindred. That's a loss on Flash's part. On Evos's part. Kindred, why? Olaf's open. Anyway, I'm not here to complain about Evos. They screwed up their last pick. They were trying for something fancy. They were a game up. I'll let it slide. Jace, last pick. As a last pick, I don't mind Jace. It's going into Akali or Orianna. In this case, Akali. Well, it'll go into Akali. Unless you want to put it mid. And if Yoshino is confident, Yoshino can play it, sure. It works as a last pick. Game 3. Kai'Sa again. It's all fine up to the second round. Kai'Sa Fiora. And this really is the problem. You see Xayah get taken away by Evos. Center MF band. They go for Xayah. Oh, go away. So they get picked. They go for that. They take Xayah. Flash doesn't know what to do here. Flash gets the Rise for Cardi. They know this was a big part of their win. We're going to take that. That gets counterpicked immediately by the Cassiopeia. Then, second round of bans. They ban Morgan, Leona. Morga is supposed to count, so they don't counterpick the Nautilus. Leona, I don't know. But then they pick Kai'Sa. There's no reason to pick Kai'Sa. You have so many junglers available. Not junglers. So many AD carries available. I honestly would have rather, and I think a big problem is the first pick Lee Sin. Like, you're trading Lee Sin for Jarvan. You don't need that much priority. You won with Jarvan. You're clearly not awful at it. You're not... Lee for Jarvan, just don't put that much priority on it. You're trading that regardless. If you're that worried... No, never mind, they banned Rek'Sai. Or just don't ban Rek'Sai. The biggest issue is their bans. The bans indicate that they can't play certain things. they ban Rek'Sai every game, which indicates to me Yujin can't play Rek'Sai, which seems weird. But, alas, here we are. We have Lee Sin first pick, really bad move. Pick your AD carry if you have to have Xayah. Just pick it. I would prefer you pick, I guess, Ryze or, I don't know, anything else? Or a good AD carry? Like, maybe don't ban MF, ban, counterpick, ban Braum or something, and pick MF if you can play it, which you clearly can't. And then, from there, the Ryze gets counterpicked by the Cassio. Then they pick the Kai'Sa. The Rakan gets picked, so it's Xayah Rakan. And then you pick Kai'Sa, which just says, I don't want to win bot lane. I have a Nautilus, really strong bot laner. More support. I'm going to pick Kai'Sa and lose bot lane. People need to be playing Ashe. People need to be playing Caitlyn. People need to be that was banned. People need to be playing Tristana. Slater, my guy. You can play champions. You can play champions in 2019. Let's see what you played. You played a lot of Kai'Sa and Xayah. I get that. You could play Ezreal. Maybe not the best pick. Lucian, I assume, was banned. Yeah. You've played Tristana. You can play Kog'Maw. You can play Vayne. You can play Draven in the past. You can play goddamn anything else. Anything else, my friend. But no, picks Kai'Sa. And then they pick Fiora blind. Pretty much knowing Cassio's going to match Ryze. No matter what, Cassio's going to be hitting the Ryze lane. So you pick Fiora blind. That gets picked against by Vladimir. And you just lose. And that's terrible. You could have picked Ornn. Ornn was open. You could have picked... And then that also allows the flex. You could have picked Aatrox. You could have picked Rumble. You could have picked anything. But Rumble's just being ignored. And I think that's a real bad thing. The Vietnamese drafting is terrible. Evos is fine. Like, Evos has been okay. Garm is also okay, from what I've seen. But Flash is... But so many power picks just being ignored. And, unless they go into MSI and go and just smack the competition with, I don't know, Kai'Sa. Yeah. No, this does not bode well for the VCS. But GAM will be their main representative, most likely, and GAM seems to have their shit together. FTV, they won both these games. But I don't think that's so much for a draft. I think that's just FTV being FTV. Again, high Xayah priority. That's their first pick. They leave Akali open, so they know. They left Akali open. They know they're going to grab Akali. You can grab anything. You can grab MF. You can grab Aphelios. You could grab Senna. Holy craps. You could grab any of the top 3 AD carries. You take Xayah. And then you take Ryze. Ryze, fine. Xayah, shit. Take MF. MF is on hard to play. Please have this fixed by week 2. Time sign a pick. Into Blitz. Blitz. Again. Blitz. This is their MVP. If Blitz isn't banned more often against Flash in the future, they're gonna get some sneaky wins out of this. They're gonna get a lot of sneaky wins out of this. The most interesting thing though in this draft is the jungle pinch. The jungle picks. Nidalee's. I've discussed Nidalee before, but FTV picks Kha'Zix for some reason when you could have just picked, I don't know, J4. I didn't even notice J4 is actually open. J4's open. Yeah, J4's open. Why was there no J4 pick? Instead we picked Nidalee. Sure. I, again, would have liked J4. I would have liked Olaf, even. So pick Olaf or J4 there. Thank you. Nidalee? Okay, sure, Nidalee. Whatever. Then Kha'Zix Aatrox. Kha'Zix is wrong. Just FTV. Kha'Zix. Why? You can play J4. If you can't play J4, kick your jungler. No jungler at this level should not be able to play J4. It's stupid. And then Aatrox, last pick, Fiora. That's where you pick Fiora as a last pick. When you know the matchup. Then game 2. This is, again, weirdly... Again, this Jace pick should have backfired, in my opinion. Sure, you get a flex, but then the Ornn pick. Ornn pick is good. I like that Ornn last pick. But again, I think the Blitzcrank is the big thing here, and you've actually got you've got a good jungler. You've got everything fine, except Xayah, which again isn't the worst pick. I just think the fact its presence is first pickable indicates there is something wrong. And Slater is gonna be a liability this split. And then Jace, I think, is a bold pick, but against FTV, it worked out. So that's basically it. So in summary of these drafts, Aphelios is being overlooked by a lot of teams. Rumble is just ignored, but they're going for Ryze. So my main takeaways are Yoshino's not playing the proper things. Yoshino's playing weird, non-meta picks most of the time, trying to be the superstar carry, I imagine, but he's playing Jace, he's playing Fiora most of the time. And then one game on Renekton. Eugen's playing everything. That first draft was just a mistake. Nothing wrong with Eugen, except perhaps can't play Rek'Sai, which isn't the worst thing. You can get around that easily, except for the fact Slater isn't playing meta. He's playing as if it's 2019. Slater needs to improve his champion pool. Otherwise nothing. Otherwise, Flash is just gonna stay where they are, in the middle somewhere, probably being carried by Yoshino and Kati, and CBL's Blitzcrank. And that Blitzcrank pick is beautiful. I love it. Thank you, CBL, for making me not hate Flash entirely.